I got cut from professional football, and instead of being mad, sad, or ungrateful, I felt relieved. I had spent countless years, hours, and days chasing one dream, and that was to become an NFL player or a professional athlete and to live out that professional football life. And although it wasn't the NFL, I still accomplished that dream in making it to the CFL. But I soon came to realize that it came with a cost. And in making it, I ended up getting cut, not once, but twice. Looking back at it, those setbacks were some of the greatest things that could have happened to me, my life, and even my career outside of football. All my life growing up, I wanted one goal and one dream, and that was to be a professional football player. And I spent countless hours, days, weeks working at that goal and just wanting to accomplish it, even though a lot of people didn't believe I could do it. I was working early mornings, I was working late nights, I was working 3-4 times a day, putting in work on the field, weight room, speed work, doing whatever I could do to get better because that was the goal I wanted for my life and that was always in my head. And in doing that, my entire identity was wrapped up in the game of football. And at a certain point in my hometown, I was just known as the kid that played football. I didn't have an identity outside of it. I couldn't talk about anything else in life. The only thing I could think of was football because that's all I cared about and that's all I wanted. Before I ever put on the pads when I was 12 years old, my whole life goal was to be a YouTuber and to do what I'm doing today. I used to look up to people like Mr. Beast. I used to look up to all types of different YouTubers, Vanoss Gaming, Cash Nasty, Chris Smooth, all those different YouTubers is who I looked up to before I ever put on the pads and played football. And then when I picked up the pads and started loving the game of football, that's what my head went to. And I would see these NFL players driving the flashy cars and having all the girls and having the lavish lifestyle. And I saw that and I felt like that was an outlet to get to that kind of lifestyle. And that's what I wanted. Obviously, I love the game of football, but I feel like that's the reason I wanted to chase playing professional football at such an early age because of that lifestyle and that financial freedom that football was giving people. And I felt like that was my only way to get that. Throughout the journey, although I was working super hard, there were major setbacks and roadblocks in the way that I kept pushing through. Like only going for 100 yards my junior year, tearing my ACL right before my senior year of high school, going to college and being the 7th string on the depth chart, trying to go pro and not getting drafted. There was a lot of different setbacks and roadblocks in the way of football that took over my mind. And throughout the process, football definitely took a toll on my mental health for a long time. And I feel like my mental health was based and wrapped in my performance as an athlete. I would only be having a good day if I had a good practice. I was only having a good week if I had a good game. Living like that and letting a game have that effect on your mental is not healthy whatsoever. And throughout this process, I gained a love for social media as well. At about 17 years old, I started posting on social media and I had to balance football and content. After I tore my ACL, I was very bored, so I started picking up content. It took off super fast. And it took off so fast, I started getting different opportunities outside the game of football that I actually cared about. And throughout my senior season during COVID, I was just pushing out content. But once I got to college, I didn't want to be known as the kid that did social media, so I would stop doing content completely and focus back on the football. And I didn't post again until after my freshman football season, which was about a year and a half later. And once I started posting on social media again during football, I started blowing up again because when I was 17, I gained about 500,000 followers in a few months and then stopped. And then when I went back to posting again, I went from 500,000 to 1 million during college. It seemed like the social media thing was working more than football. And during college, I started having a split identity as an athlete. But during the football season, this is the time when I would always put down social media to lock in on football. So I would not post the entire football season during the season. I would only post during the off season. But nevertheless, I would go through and I would have a great college career at Sacramento State. Ending up having 2,000 yards and almost 20 touchdowns in college. And I ended up declaring for the NFL draft. And the draft process was good. I was getting calls from teams about every single week. I flew all the way to Florida to go train. I was doing my thing. They said I was projected to be a 6th or 7th round priority free agent. Everything was going smooth. And then draft day comes. I'm going around the 6th, 7th round, trying to expect for my phone to get called. No calls come during the 6th or 7th round. After the draft, I'm thinking I'm gonna get a free agent call or I'm thinking I'm gonna get a mini camp call, and my phone is absolutely silent after the NFL draft. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, I go into my room and I'm genuinely crying, bro. I feel like I failed myself and I trained all this time and I did all this work to achieve one goal and I couldn't achieve it. But a few days later, I'm just chilling, not knowing what the next move is, and I get a call from my agent saying that a CFL team wants to pick me up. So I signed the contract and go out to Canada to go play professional football. And I'm not gonna lie, obviously I did not make it to the NFL, but I still feel like at least I achieved the goal of playing football past college and making it to professional football. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought I finally made it. And at the moment, I thought I was gonna be 30 years old playing football, bro. Because when you play professional football, you can play for as long as you want until you either get cut or retire. But obviously that wasn't in my head. So I was thinking I was gonna be playing football until I'm 30. And when I get to Canada, bro, off rip, it was going really, really good. The coaches were liking me, the quarterbacks were cool with me. I was making a lot of different friends, making a lot of different connections, and I was hooping on the field. I was making a lot of plays, and I was one of the best rookies on the team throughout training camp. Every single day, I was making play after play, trying to prove that I deserved to be on that roster. But throughout the process, I would start getting in my head because I was seeing people getting cut every single day. You'll be cool with the dude at lunch, and he'll be gone by dinner time. And that starts putting a lot of different thoughts into your head because you never know what they're thinking about you. Your destiny is completely not in your control. The only thing you can control is your attitude, your effort, and your skill. Throughout this process, seeing all these people and even your friends getting cut, it starts putting a lot of pressure on the situation that you're in. And from going from all sunshine and rainbows and shits and giggles, it gets real serious real fast. And when I got to professional football, I realized very quick that this is not like college, bro. You do not have a guaranteed spot on this roster. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to earn your spot. And especially as a rookie, they don't see you in the game as much. They only see you in a few preseason snaps, but that's it. So you have to literally fight your way onto this roster because there's already vets that are already solidified on the team. Every single day was filled with worry and anxiety that you're gonna either get cut, sent home, something might happen. You might look at somebody the wrong way and they take it the wrong way and they just send you home. Every single day was filled with that. And instead of having fun playing football, it was filled with pressure and having to learn a playbook and sitting there until 1 to 2 a.m. just to be able to know what you're doing for the next day. Or if you miss an assignment or you run the wrong route, you might be getting sent home that next hour. That's what the days were filled with instead of playing the game that you love. And when I first got there, bro, I thought pro football was sweet, and I came to realize that it is not sweet at all. And it is a job. It is a full-time job. Nevertheless, bro, I was hooping throughout this whole camp and I was making plays every single day. There wasn't a day that went by that I did not make at least 1 to 2 plays. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever there was cuts going on, I never thought it was gonna be me. Even though I was anxious and worrying, I was making plays enough to realize that I'm thinking it would never be me. I was playing in preseason games. I got the ball in both preseason games twice. I was making plays every day at practice and I'm like, okay, bro, I am good. I'm not gonna lie, bro, I was balling this first camp. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, bro, I'm good. I made it on this team. I am a professional athlete. Then we make it to the last cut day. This is after the second preseason game. I'm sitting here packing my bags. I'm thinking everything is good. I'm ready to go get my apartment. I'm looking at apartments in Vancouver. I'm like, okay, bet, how am I gonna get my car out here? I'm thinking all these different things, not thinking I'm gonna get cut because I knew in my heart that I was the best player on that field whenever I stepped on the field, bro. And then I get a knock at the door. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Gip, come with me and bring your playbook. When I heard bring your playbook, I felt like I got backdoored, bro. I mean, me and the GM were cool. Me and the coaches were cool, laughing it up every single day, man. They're dapping me up. All these thoughts are going through my head. I felt like I got backdoored, bro. I walk in the office, the GM looks me in my face like, hey, man, we gotta let you go for right now. He told me that they were going to bring me back for a futures contract for the next season. So I've said, okay, bet, let's do it. Either way it goes, bro, I felt lost, bro. I didn't know what to do. I had to go back to my hometown in Stockton. I had no money to my name, nothing to show for except for a few professional football snaps. No other teams were hitting me up. I was lost, bro. And I went back home for a few days, bro, and I was genuinely depressed. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to scavenge, making sure I had all my film ready to go. I thought I was gonna go back and keep playing football. I didn't know what to do, bro. I was genuinely lost. And at this point, bro, I have no money to my name, bro. I am genuinely broke. So I'm like, I might have to get a job if I don't get picked up by a team anytime soon. And every night, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there crying, depressed, lost. I didn't know what to do, bro. And then I made a call that completely changed my life. It was a complete 360, bro. I called AJ Green. You guys know who AJ Green is, bro. The YouTuber, content creator, bro. He's a legend in the football content space. He is my dog, my brother, literally. And I called him and I said, hey, bro, I don't know what to do, bro. I want to go all in on content. But all he said was, all right, bet, I'm gonna leave my door unlocked, and hangs up. I'm like, what? I literally see, he sends me an address. That's all he does. If you guys don't know AJ, bro, he's not the biggest talker, gang. All he sent me was an address. So I completely packed my car with clothes, my PC setup, and my camera, and I drive 16 hours to get to Arizona. I get there at 1 in the morning and I walk up to the door. I get to the door handle, I twist it, and it's unlocked. I walk in the house, and that's when I realized I am a full-time content creator now. When I was driving on the way to Arizona, I got 2 calls from 2 different arena football teams for me to go play. I could have changed my route and drove to San Diego because one of the teams were in San Diego, but I chose content. I don't know what made me choose content, but I am so glad I made that decision. So now I'm in Arizona. And I'm genuinely, every single day, I am posting content, grinding content, posting twice a day, trying to just make some money to get myself back on my feet. And I am broke and I'm working. I'm trying to figure everything out on my own. And I start networking. I start networking with Hunt, filming with Hunt, Adam, AJ, Zach, whoever made content out in Arizona, that's who I was around, bro. And while I start doing this, literally in the first month, it starts picking up very, very fast. And I start posting every single day and the videos are doing really good at 100K, 200K. And one video hit 11 million views, and that video by itself helped me to afford the place that I'm currently in right now. And I keep sticking to that routine, posting every single day, getting on YouTube, all this kind of stuff. And I'm literally grinding for months and months and months to start getting some type of traction when it comes to content and to build out a life for myself doing content. And after a few months, I start picking up brand deals and I start getting really, really good months doing content. And while this momentum's picking up and going, I don't even have football in my mind, bro. I am so locked in, 100% focused on content. And while I'm in this mode, I'm starting to get some traction. I'm genuinely happy every single day. I'm living out my purpose. I get the call to go back and play professional football. And at this moment, I genuinely have to think and weigh out my options because I have so much momentum and so much going on for me outside of football and with social media, and I'm genuinely happy. And I've actually built a solid foundation and fan base and brand deals, and I got some partnerships going on. And I actually understood the game of social media and how to profit and monetize and build something for myself doing content. After a few days of thinking about it, I've made a decision and I've signed the contract to go back and play. But I decided to try to merge both content plus football and make that my brand and brand myself as a professional athlete. But in doing that, it takes a lot more effort, it takes a lot more work. Instead of just working out once or twice a day, now I have to work out once or twice a day and upload once or twice a day. On top of training, I have to film my training sessions. Now it adds a whole nother layer and factor into playing professional football. But nevertheless, I decided to merge both. And going back, it felt a lot different. And I felt like I went back for a different purpose. It wasn't just to be a professional athlete. It wanted to be the professional athlete that is actually a big time content creator. And I wanted to be the professional athlete that's able to show his whole life as a professional football player to his audience. And then going back, even though it was a lot more of a task, I felt like there was a lot less pressure because I knew I had a fallback this time. Instead of last time, I was completely lost. And throughout the off season, instead of how I used to getting a bunch of trainers and getting a bunch of people working, I pretty much trained myself and worked out every single day by myself. All I had was my receiver trainer, Coach Brock, and I went to Coach D-Brad a few times, but that's pretty much it, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, if you want me to be completely real, I don't feel like I was as serious in football as I had been at one point. Throughout college, I was working out 2 times a day, training hard, doing extra stuff, and now I was only training 1 time and just going home and working on content the rest of the day. Even though I was doing that, I still felt really good and I felt confident going into camp. And now it's time to head back to Canada. So I'm headed back and I feel confident, I'm ready to go. I got my camera equipment with me. I'm ready to go, bro. I already know, have a whole plan of how I'm gonna document every single day playing professional football. I was genuinely ready to go document and play and go crazy every single day. But going back, I arrived there and it feels completely different. It's the same scenery, same people, same everything, but it feels different. I genuinely felt out of place. I felt like I had imposter syndrome, bro. The feeling is so weird and so crazy because I genuinely felt like I was not supposed to be there. I have multiple brand deals and whole opportunities going on outside of football, and I felt like these people genuinely needed to be here. All the people playing on that team, they needed to be there. And I felt like I did not have to be there, bro, which is crazy to say. But nevertheless, bro, I go into the first practice, I'm still balling. First practice in, I have about 7 catches. The next day, I have about 5 more catches. And we have 2 practices that next day, I have 4 more catches. So I have the most catches out of all the rookies throughout the whole training camp and the whole mini camp. And in my opinion, I was the best rookie throughout the whole training camp. And after those few practices, I felt very, very good about my performance and how I played and how many times I was able to get the ball and all that kind of stuff. I felt smooth. But the first cut day comes, and I'm thinking to myself, bro, I had the most catches, bro. The next person after me had literally half my catches, bro. I'm not worried about this first cut. I think I had just got done filming the YouTube video, and I'm putting the camera up. I'm getting ready to go study my playbook, and boom, I get a knock at the door. I'm like, there ain't no way they about to cut me right now, bro. Like, I was genuinely appalled. So I walk over to the door, and it's the same exact person that had knocked on the door last year to send me to the office for me to go get cut. And I already knew what time it was, bruh. But in that moment, instead of feeling how I felt last year and my heart dropping and genuinely being shocked and sad and all that kind of stuff, I genuinely in this moment felt a sigh of relief. Right when I heard that knock on that door. The reason I say that is because while I was in that room filming that video, I was like, there is no way I have to go through 3 more weeks of this and then a full entire season in CFL football. In that moment, I was so relieved because being stuck on someone else's time and having to sit in a 2-hour special teams meeting and having to sit in all these meetings and having to be on someone else's schedule, waking up at 6 a.m., making sure my body's right, getting treatment, all this other stuff on top of me trying to achieve my goal and dream of becoming a content creator. And getting that knock, bro, I genuinely felt like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, it gave clarity. So I walk into the GM's office, and instead of looking sad or nervous or frantic, I had a smile on my face. I didn't sit down. I just stood up. I dapped the coaches up. Boom. Dapped the GM up. Dapped him up. I told him, yeah, that's all good. Sign the contract. I'm saying, I appreciate you guys so much for the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. They weren't even able to tell me that I got cut. I already knew. And I signed the contract and I got out of there. And I literally packed my bags so fast and got in the car and started driving home, bro. There was no hate, there was no anger, there was no mad, sad. It just gave clarity and a sigh of relief that I could finally do what I love to do and to do content. And while I was driving home, bro, I genuinely felt free. And I was ready to go drive, and I felt like I was going to go drive and start a whole new life, bro. It was a crazy feeling. And on the way home, I literally filmed a video of spending the $1,000 that they gave me while I was out there. And the video literally got like 500,000 views on Instagram and like a couple 100,000 on TikTok. Like, the video blew up. And I'm just thinking, like, I did not have to be there, bro. I felt like it was just a good way for me to have clarity as a football player to be like, okay, I am good. And now I finally arrived back to Arizona, bro, and I pick up right where I left off. Move my stuff back in, and I instantly get to making videos again. And in coming back, bro, I genuinely have a full-time career as a content creator. I'm able to make videos, do what I do, be around like-minded people, build a whole full-time job out of this, bro. In the first few months of being outside of the CFL, I made more in that time than I would have in my whole entire contract for the Canadian Football League, bro. And now I get to grow an audience, connect with people that genuinely support me. I'm getting brand deals, working with different brands, networking with different people. I get to travel around the country. I just got flown to New York for freaking Call of Duty. There's a lot of different things that are going great in my life and what I do and what I love to do. And I'm getting a lot of opportunities being able to do what I love to do, and that's being a content creator, bro. And although throughout this time, I'm still to this day getting calls to play, and now it's to the point I genuinely have to deny them. Because none of the stuff that I'm doing currently and in my life would be possible if I was still playing football. I would still be in Canada playing in the season. And I don't even know what would be going on, bro. And the greatest thing about it, bro, is like either way it goes, maybe I'm not on a professional football team, a big time team. I am still around the game every single day. I still make content about the game every single day. I played a whole career, played college, professional, all that kind of stuff, high school. And I'm able to talk to you guys about this experience of playing professional football, and which would not be possible if I did not have a platform. I'm doing one-on-ones, going to different games, doing all kinds of different stuff. So I'm always around the game, bro. It's crazy because if I didn't get cut, I would not be here talking to you guys, telling you guys this story, or even making this video, bro. I wouldn't have been able to meet the people that I've met and have the opportunities that I have currently, bro. Or be able to connect with the community that we have built. I feel like God makes no mistakes. The biggest setbacks in your life might actually turn into the biggest blessings that ever happened in your life, bro. If you just believe in yourself and you believe in God's plan for you. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think I should still continue to play football, or do you think I should continue to chase my passions and dreams and do content, man? Let me know down in the comments, man. It's Jay Gipp. I love y'all boys, and we out.